Hello everyone, welcome back to a Cryptic crossword. I felt like doing one of these today. It's not something I do regularly, aside from the Minute Cryptic, which I do regularly every day. So a Cryptic crossword is, the Minute Cryptic, but a whole crossword of it. The free Cryptic crossword puzzles that I get are from lovattspuzzles.com, L-O-V-A-T-T-S puzzles.com. Not sponsored by them or anything, and I don't mean to claim these are the highest quality puzzles in the universe. There are, I assume, much better ones in like the British newspapers, The Guardian, I guess, for example. But these are A, free, and B, at an approachable difficulty level, and also C, not super British culture focused. So they're the ones I use. I wish the New York Times still published cryptic crosswords. They used to do one every couple months, and you could see them in the archives, but they threw them out of the archives when they stopped publishing them, and I was quite annoyed about that. Anyway, cryptic crossword. So it's a whole crossword of cryptic crossword clues, where, to recap, if you're unfamiliar with cryptic crosswords, each clue gives you the answer two different ways. Once as a wordplay and once as a definition, usually more oblique than you can get away with in American-style crosswords, because you get the answer twice, of course. Often, the clue will sort of be invisibly split in two, or you can't tell where the divider is, but one side is the definition and the other side is the wordplay. That's not a hard and fast rule, but that's often the case. I'm not a cryptic crossword expert. I'm okay. I'm like, I would say a proficient beginner, but not really even intermediate. And so I don't usually solve these without needing a hint or two, but I can get through a big chunk of it. So that's expectation setting and also the tutorial out of the way. So let's get started with this cryptic crossword with one across. Also, it usually takes me like an hour, 45 minutes or something. Rodent upsets the Rams. I think I can get this one. Upsets looks like an anagram indicator to rearrange some letters by making them upset. And the Rams is 7 letters, which is how many we need for the clue. So if we could think of a rodent that you can spell with the letters from the Rams, which I assume ends with rat, right? So then we would have left what? H-E-M-S? What the hell rodent is that? Shemrat? Meshrat? I've never heard of this rat. Maybe it doesn't end with rat. Maybe that's, maybe there's a different kind of rodent that just happens to have the letters R, A, and T in it, but not right there. There is, actually. It's a hamster, which has the letters of rat, but not in that order. Okay. So let's look at some downs where we have a couple letters for them, I suppose. Slashes wildly. Again, wildly looks like an anagram indicator, and slashes is 7 letters, so that's where I'm looking. And causes trouble. Hassles? I thought at first has less, but that doesn't make any sense. But someone who hassles causes trouble. Letters are transported in IBM Gala. I wonder if I think transported can also be an anagram indicator. I feel like one failing that this site, Lovett's Puzzles, has is that a lot of its clues are about anagramming. More than you would see in a high-grade cryptic crossword. But, I'm a beginner. I don't mind being given some easy ones. So, I say beginner. I've been doing this since 2020. I'm okay at it. So, IBM Gala is 7 letters. And then we could transported it, right? we could rearrange it to say something involving letters. Like the definition would be letters somehow. I don't know how. Magalim. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on there. Candle may become narrow. This must be taper. And I think that this is a double definition. We don't really, as far as I know, say this in English. Excuse me, in American English. But I believe, like, taper somehow refers to candles in England, as well as meaning to become narrow. Like, I think a taper is a candle. I don't know why, but I think that's true. And you can see the website has filled this in green, telling me that, yep, you were right. So in this case, the wordplay was just another definition, what they call a double definition clue. Revolutions about. So about could be an anagram indicator. Maybe. But also so could like changed. And I noticed that rations is 7 letters. So rations 2 could be well, I don't know. You could anagram rations 2 based on the word change, but then what's the word be doing for you? I'm not totally convinced. You can't fit revolves in here, can you? No. Oh, but you know what? I bet these are rotations. Yeah. So if you just take the letters from TO and put them here. We don't even have to rearrange the letters in rations. So I guess what... I don't know if I could clarify exactly what every word in the wordplay is doing. But the point is we're rearranging the letters in 2 and putting them inside the word for rations to get rotations, which means revolutions. And possibly revolutions about, I suppose, could also be rotations, so sure. Cut off favorite with piece of gossip. I don't know what you want from me here. How about this? Releases with bail reset anew. So anew is often an anagram indicator. Bail reset is 9 letters. So that's a very likely way for the wordplay to go, which would mean we're looking for something that means releases, using the letters from bail reset. And we have an LRT, which at least lends support to that hypothesis. Probably there's an S at the end because it's releases. It has to match tense. So how about liberates? That would mean releases, and liberates, yes, the letters match up, so it must be the right answer. Now the site's filled it in green for me already, but it's nice to have it confirmed by actually just doing it yourself. Wise old men grow older in steamship. Sages, maybe? Wise old men are sages? Yes. Because to grow older is to age, and if you put that in SS, meaning steamship, you get sages. Ooh. Mailbag! Ah! Letters are transported in this, a mailbag. And IBM Gala is being transported. So in this case, there isn't a clear divider between wordplay and definition. As I've warned, there isn't always. Right, transported is used in both halves. But that's all right. Skimpot. Stimpet. What on earth cut off favorite? Well, favorite is pet. There must just be some word for piece of gossip. No. Wrong. Don't assume that you don't know the answer just because you don't speak British. Think about other ways this could work. Okay, I don't totally get it yet. I see the answer. I'm trying to prove it. So to cut off is to snip, I guess. So cut off favorite is snip pet. And I guess a piece of gossip is a snippet in that it's like something that would show up in a tabloid, is what you're talking about? Okay. Little brother with jugs for beer makers. Well, jugs for beer makers would be like kegs or casks. But there's no reason to assume that they actually want me to say anything about jugs for beer makers. Little. I feel like little ought to be the definition. And then we should have brother put together with something that means jugs for beer makers. But I don't know how to do that. Bestow with grace as balm eases alternately. So alternately usually it's the kind of thing that often means to take alternate letters from a word or set of words. So if we looked at balm eases or as balm eases, we're looking for 5 letters and we're taking every other. So balm eases, that's 9 letters. So we can get BLESS, which is bless, to bestow with grace. Captivate in the 10th rally. Enamor means to captivate. Enthrall also does, but they're both the wrong number of letters. I'm not sure what's going on here yet. Specifically asked to include white wine. And it's 2 words here. Specifically asked to include white wine. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing that stands out as a possible wordplay indicator is like to include, meaning write something inside of something else. Could it be as per? That's a 2 and 3 letter phrase that sort of means specifically asked. But I don't see how that has to do with any of the rest of the clue. Crazed Angora nut went ape. So Angora nut, is that not the right number of letters? It is. So if we were to write it in a crazed fashion, we would anagram it. So this is probably an anagram of Angora nut that means went ape, but I'm not sure how to do that. Yeah, I don't know. Come back to it later when I have some letters, maybe. Completely absorbs the proven gross estimate, which is too much. Very long clue. Excessive or something? That's too much? So I could write excesses here, which is too much. But why would that be completely absorbs the proven gross estimate? Like, I don't even know how any of that would have to do with this. Completely. Yeah. Okay. South African boy makes a vegetable side dish. South African could just be the letters SA. Or they could be asking me, what do they call a boy in South Africa? You don't usually need to know stuff like that, though. You know, you maybe have to know very, very, very basic words in like classical European languages like French and Spanish, or a little bit of Latin or something, or maybe like ni hao in Chinese. But the word for boy in South African is not going to be in something you need to know. Vegetable side dish. I assume vegetable side dish is going to be the definition, and South African boy will make it up by being the wordplay somehow. Is saboy somehow a vegetable side dish? I'm not going to write that. But I am going to write something else in. Because a boy is a lad if you're in England, and salad is a vegetable side dish, a salad. Okay, good. Glad I finally got one. It's been a while. Renovate each new epistle with letters first. Renew? I think so. Here's another one where the definition of the wordplay are not so cleanly split. The definition is renovate. The wordplay is to take the letters first, i.e., the first letters of the phrase, renovate each new epistle with, giving us renew. Yeah. Okay. Sure. What a mature woman may claim to be over, already having the key of the door. Like puppy love or something, but not that. Is what a mature woman may claim to be over. Middle age? You could claim to be over middle age if you were mature in age. Although, why then specifically woman? I don't know. Already having the key of the door. What the hell does that mean? Well, the key of a word is probably the center of it. So the key of the door could be the letters OO for the center of the word door, or maybe the key of the phrase the door, which could be like the letter D. I don't know. Look some downs. Appearing to reflect when in front of glass. Looking? Yeah, I guess. If you're appearing some way, you're looking that way. And if you put the word looking in front of glass, it's something that reflects. A looking glass is a mirror. Searches river. An inside job for 100 Gestapos. This is, when I saw the word inside, my ears pricked up, so to speak. This is the kind of clue that I often miss, and so I'm trying to pay more attention to it. This is what they call a hidden clue. Inside says there's some phrase nearby that just has the answer in it. In this case, the phrase is 100, or just, it's like 100 Gestapos or 100 Gestapos or whatever. If we look at DREDGES, we get dredges, which means searches river. Adjusted piano, this must be tuned. Took up nearly every D note to begin with. So yeah, I mean, taking up D note to begin with. I don't quite get the wordplay yet, but took up nearly every D note. All right, I don't get it, but the answer's tuned. Italian city included by adventuring type. So this probably is just the name of an Italian city. And maybe included is another hidden indicator. I'm supposed to look in here somewhere. Turin? That's an Italian city, isn't it? Yeah. Sweetheart seen in calendar lingerie. How racy. I bet seen in, yeah, it's another hidden. Darling is right there, which means sweetheart. He matures but copes. Well, it must end with ages for matures. And if we look for something that means copes that ends this way, it must be manages. A man ages means he matures. Most of one across, which I think must be hamster. This must be Amsterdam. On reservoir in Italian capital. Yes, most of one across is Amster. Put that on dam, which is a reservoir, and you get a European capital, Amsterdam. Okay, now I have all the crosses I'm ever getting for this. I mean, what the hell? So notice, by the way, there's a hyphen here, not a comma. Which we had a two-word thing somewhere, didn't we? Maybe not. Or maybe one I didn't manage to fill in, this one. Yeah. But so here, like this. This is how they usually indicate a two-word phrase, A, comma, B. When they use a punctuation other than a comma, it means that there is that punctuation separating the word. So this is a kind of two-word... it's a compound word composed of two other words, rather than being a phrase composed of those two words. So I guess what we're looking at is 21. A mature woman may claim to be over 21. Because that fits here, like, with a hyphen. What does this mean, already having the key of the door, though? Already having the key. I have no idea what this wordplay means. It's obviously 21, and the site has confirmed it for me. Already. Okay, maybe yet means already? But I mean, Y, E, and T are all in here, but they're not the phrase yet. They're not even in order, so it can't be like having something. If there were Y, E, and T, you could say it already had the letters in between. The key of the door. Yeah, no idea. Feel free to write in the comments if you can explain that one to me. Sparkle that tingles when moved. So probably tingles, which is 7 letters long, is being moved, i.e. anagrammed. And to sparkle is to glisten. Was livid to see the drain without water. Well, someone who was livid probably has an ED. They did something. They raged or whatever. I don't know. Makes wild with anger. Over test center. Enrages. Could be makes wild with anger. Over test center. I don't know. It is enrages. So, okay, hang on. This also, the definition doesn't have to be makes wild with anger. It could be makes wild. And then the wordplay could be like you take. Yes. So with could be just sort of a linking word. Anger, which we do see these letters here. In fact, here. Over the center of the word test, which is ES, is written here, and anger is written above it. But anger is wild. It's anagrammed. So I think wild with anger is being used as part of the definition and the wordplay here. So makes wild with anger and rages. Wild with anger is enrag. And that's written over the center of test. Original, said Jen. You win. So said is often a homophone indicator. Imagine somebody said something, but you didn't hear them quite right and you thought they said something else. In this case, genuine is you should mishear as genuine, which means original. Oh, engrosses, which means completely absorbs. And gross estimate is gross as. So it definitely isn't gross. I'm just trying to finish proving it. Gross, does ES mean estimate maybe in some universe? Maybe not, because estimate is too much. Oh, too much. Which is too much is apparently a hidden indicator. We're looking at n gross as just in the center of proven gross estimate. I see. This looks like slow or snow. Come to a standstill. Slow, let's say. And look at timer. Oh, a stopwatch. Come to a standstill and look. That's to stop and watch. And a timer is a stopwatch. Oh, this must be seethed. Was livid? See the drain without water. So, okay. So see the d is seethed, right? But I was trying to see how are they getting me to remove rain. But yes, rain is water, so remove that from the phrase see the drain, and you get see the d, which is seethed. Okay, 3/4 through. No hints yet. The bad news is I have a whole corner up here that I've mostly looked at and given up on. No, actually, I don't think I've looked at the downs. This clue is new to me. Alienates sergeants somehow. Yeah, so I bet sergeants is 9 letters. It is. And I bet if you anagram it, you can come up with estranges, which means alienates. So if sergeants were somehow written, instead of in the usual way, it could be written as estranges. Okay, this looks like as. Like, Little brother with jugs for beer makers. Listeners burn in hearing range. So I want in to be a hidden indicator for one side or the other. So we're looking for a 7-letter phrase. It's hard for one to include a B, isn't it? Yeah. So maybe it's down here. Ringran? Earringer? Aringra? Ingrang? Okay, maybe this hidden idea isn't working out. I'm not aware of Ingrang. Listeners burn. I guess range could also be a hidden indicator, perhaps. And then we'd be looking at like a phrase from burn to hearing that's 7 letters long. But INH is really hard to sell. Yeah, I don't know. Some chips are made from a stupid trick, they say. Some chips are a poker pot. They're potato chips. They're tortilla chips. But tortilla and potato both don't fit. And I think some chips are made from is a pretty good definition, right? Something chips are made of. You can get like apple chips as well, banana chips. But these are all kind of too short. Bananas, I guess. Some chips are made from bananas. That's true. A stupid trick, they say. Oh, is they say a homophone indicator again? Mishear something? A stupid trick. It doesn't sound like anything you make chips out of to me. Pit. I don't know. What is this, oranges or something? Who spells orangutan with a hyphen in it? They don't do that in England, do they? That's crazy. Oh, I read somewhere in the last few months, I think, that it was probably in a crossword actually, that the word orangutan in whatever language English borrowed it from means like forest person or something like that. Person of the forest. I don't know. Kind of neat. So, like, I'm not specifically asked, like, should be as, I don't know. I want it to be as per, but I'm not aware of a line of as per. Yeah. I guess to captivate could be to enthuse. And that uses a lot of the letters from the word tenth, in fact, all of them. Huh. I don't I don't think it should be enthuse, and it's not, but it should be nth something, shouldn't it? Rally. Oh, it is just. Can I not spell? Oh! This is a British problem. You Brits get better dictionaries. So I had the answer a while ago, and I just knew it couldn't be it because it doesn't fit. It is enthrall, but they spell it with only one L in English. We just don't do that here. If I look it up in the dictionary, I bet they'll both be there, but the single L will be, yeah. If you look it up with one or two L's, it's in the dictionary with two L's in Merriam-Webster. And it says enthrall with only one L is a variant. But I've never seen anyone spell it that way in America. Okay, so that's good. I had the right idea here. I just dismissed the obvious answer because it was illegal, not realizing that if I were in England, apparently that's how they spell it. Listeners burn. Listeners. Earshot. Earshot is hearing range. Listeners burn. Ears are listeners, and something that burns is hot. I'm not 100% on that explanation of the wordplay, but it makes sense. It's fine. Listeners burn, ears hot. So this could be like at something. There's some formal word for something specifically asked, like at need or whatever, but that I just don't know what it is. At had at hip at as him, or maybe it's something I do know and I just haven't figured it out yet. Something I would recognize. Little brother with jugs for beer makers. Brewers are beer makers. Oh, wow. I think I'm getting the idea of how this works. Ewers are jugs. Yeah. It's a kind of a ewer is a word you really only see in the crossword in America, I think. But it is what's the word? I can't think of what the word is for, like at a restaurant when they have, like, you have glasses of water, but they have a kind of bigger glassware. It's not a mug. It's not a pot. There's another word for that here. But ewer is another word for that kind of thing. Can't think of what a more. It's not a bottle. It could be a bottle, but if it isn't, it could be like, something decanter shaped, right? There's a word for that. A pitcher. That's the word I'm thinking of. Yeah, a ewer is like a pitcher. Anyway, so if we take little brother, well, bro is a way to write brother with fewer letters. A little brother. Um, well, I still don't totally get it, I guess. Because I was thinking we would take the phrase bro and replace something with jugs, i.e., replace it with ewers. But why would, like, with jugs for beer is a way to say take something that means beer and replace it with something that means jugs. But all we have for little brother is bro. So why would O be beer? That I don't get. But that's the general idea of what the wordplay is doing. Okay. Some chips are made from salmon. Not really. Saltines. Salmon. Solar on. Spl. Splatten. Splimen. Oh, actually, wait, I do know this. Something specifically asked for is ad hoc. I'm not sure what this has to do with white wine. Yeah, no idea. So what is this? This is some British word for a fruit that I've never heard of, that we don't use here. It might not be. All right, give me a letter. Oh, I do know this. It's not fruit. Oh, I was too focused on eating chips, man. These aren't the kinds of chips you eat. So maybe I could have gotten this without the clue if I had read without the hint. If I had read the clue more carefully using the new crosses I have that I didn't have before. I just sort of was thinking like, what are chips made of? And I forgot. I didn't really pay attention to the rest of the clue and try to make sense of it. A stupid trick. If I have S blank L, well, and I have they say a potential homophone indicator. Well, something stupid is silly, right? And in my dialect, these silicon does not sound anything like silicon, right? The vowel sound is very obviously they do sound quite similar, only a couple of sounds different. But the vowel sound is so distinct. I would never say, "Oh, I pulled a silicon," right? I pulled a silicon. The Y in silly is much more. I want to keep admiring my puzzle, please. Is much more pronounced. It doesn't kind of vanish the way into an unemphasized schwa like it does in silicon. Just what's the vowel in between L and C in silicon? Of course, it's an I, but like you pronounce it like you do any schwa, just the most neutral vowel sound, silicon. So it doesn't sound quite like silicon to me. I think in British, they do pronounce the I a little bit more. They might even say silicon sometimes, right? But I feel like more often they would say silicon. Silicon, right? So I would say silicon. 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 I'm not sure I could say which syllable is stressed more between in the British pronunciation. Both of these are pretty hidden, pretty not emphasized. Anyway, that was a cryptic crossword. Hope you guys had fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.